Mel, I mean, any light you can throw on what happened last night with the ineligible Aston Villa player? Is there any news on what's happened?
No, not officially. I think we're hoping to hear by maybe close of play today, with obviously the draw being made tomorrow. But yeah, we're not really sure what's happening yet.
It would appear to be cut and dried. So do you think it will probably go in your favour and that you will actually progress?
Hopefully. I just don't know. Never really heard of it happening before, so I think it's maybe happened before to Reading previously. I think someone told us, so we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, if we end up going through, then we'll prepare accordingly for the quarterfinals.
That aside, the game itself, I mean, obviously be disappointed with the scoreline, but when you look back at the FA Cup games of the weekend and your game against Aston Villa, that's the divide, isn't it, between the Premier League and the Championship? Yeah,
I think there's a huge gulf in quality. Aston Villa are a very good team with some very good international players. But I think I've been really clear with what we were using the competition for, and the process of which I've followed is the players who haven't played in the previous league game will always get topped up in the Conti Cup, and no matter what the opposition. And I think there was 9 changes last night, and it's important for them players to get minutes in their legs no matter what the opposition is. And yeah, we were disappointed with the result overall, but I think there was some huge learning points to take from the game for the players going forward as well.
And for those younger players, I mean, ultimately that's what they're aspiring to, isn't it? This is a lesson for them, I guess. This is the level at which this is where you've got to get to.
Yeah, exactly. I think there was some clear messages before the game in terms of the pace of the game is going to be quicker and the ball speed is going to be quicker. That is WSL football, and like you say, if you've got aspirations to potentially be playing in the Super League one day, this is what better way to have a taste of it than feeling it and seeing it in a 90-minute game.
That's more familiar football at the weekend. I mean, you've got a Saturday game as well, which is unusual. I mean, I don't know how that's come about, and probably not ideal, bearing in mind that you played last night.
Yeah, just kind of going back to the game at the weekend, it was an unbelievable result for us against Sheffield, and like you say, it's a huge turnaround, very quick. We'll lose a day recovery, which is why the squad was massively rotated last night as well, and players are back in today, and it's a quick turnaround for Blackburn. I think they share the ground, so there's another game on the Sunday, which is why our game's been moved 24 hours earlier. But the players are hungry to keep that league form going, and I thought we were excellent last Sunday against Sheffield. I thought that was a real complete performance from the team, and the message is to be consistent in every league game that we play now until the end of the season.
I mean, as disheartening as it was to lose to Aston Villa, it was obviously heartening to beat Sheffield United in the manner that you did, and on the back of the previous week. I mean, I don't know how much you looked at that previous defeat and took that then into that Sheffield United game.
Yeah, I think we're big reflectors, with our own eyes and the data, and through good honest conversations with players about their individual performances and about the performance as a collective, and they were really disappointed. We were disappointed as staff, and we had some good conversation about where we want to go and how we're going to do it, and what it should look like and what it should feel like when we're on the pitch. And I think the players really stepped up and delivered, and they were very pleased with their individual performances, which is good. And when players perform well individually, collectively, you normally get a positive outcome, and I thought we did on Sunday. I thought we were excellent.
When Blackburn were here, I think the phrase is you was robbed, because I mean you had enough chances to wrap that game up comfortably. They had one chance basically and scored it.
Yeah, and that's football. Hopefully lessons have been learned, and that's the consistency that we're driving for going into Saturday. The players have set the bar awfully high after the win on Sunday. So again, we'll pick a team that we think can go and get 3 points, because that's exactly what we want every time we get on the pitch.
Quick word for Emily Scar as well. She picked up the Championship Player of the Week. It's just a nice accolade, and it's not necessarily, as Roy Keane used to say, used to put them in the garage, but I mean, for a young player, it's just to be recognised, I guess. Yeah,
I was delighted for her. Again, Emily's, she started the season for her and has then found herself out the team, and you know, we've had lots of good individual conversations, you know, along the way about what she needs to do to get back in the team, and Sunday was her opportunity, and you know, there was no one prouder than me when she's buried the 2 goals, because you know, there was a lot of pressure going into the game for her as an individual. She wanted to showcase to me and to everyone what she's about, and you know, she did that, and you know, the icing on the cake was picking up the accolade of the Player of the Week, so you know, absolutely delighted for her.
Thank you.
If you do end up going through, Mel, I mean, I suppose it'd be like finding a fiver down the back of the sofa, really. Do you just treat it as a bonus?
Yeah, I think it comes, I think the quarter-final comes around quite quick, and I don't think we have a game on the Sunday either, so it probably fills a little bit of a dead time in our schedule as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and if we go through, we'll take the competition seriously as we do, and see what happens.
Just looking at the league table, it's starting to look like 1 from 5 at the top, with respect to Durham and those teams below, but is that how you guys are seeing it now?
I think it is what it is. I think the table doesn't lie. I think it's very tight at the top, like you say, between them 5 teams, and you know, I think it's just important that obviously we look at ourselves and make sure we don't slip up. You know, we've only lost the two league games so far, and we travel well. We travel well on the road, and you know, we've been there previously in the Conti Cup, picked up a good result. So a familiar ground with, obviously, I feel like we play Blackburn a lot. So yeah, we'll see what Saturday brings, but the team's certainly in good spirits.
You obviously made quite a few changes last week now and sort of freshened it up a little bit. And how pleasing was it for that to come off, and especially the energy and pace you had in the team obviously was very evident throughout the game. Yeah,
I think we've got a really competitive squad, and you know, it's always a hard task to pick an 11 for the game on the weekend, but you know, delighted, you know, when you make changes and you know, both players score who go on, you know, it looks like I've done a really made a good decision, but you know, them players have trained really hard, and you know, they've been chomping at the bit to get in, and I thought it was their moment to go and make an impact, and you know, I was delighted for Ellen and Emily to get on the score sheet.
And behind the scenes as well, it shows to players that the opportunity is going to be there, and I suppose the players who've been in the team all year know now as well that you know, there is that competition there.
Yeah. It's healthy competition, and that's what high performance is. You know, players ultimately have to perform. They're professional footballers now. Everyone's, you know, looking at what they're producing, and ultimately it's, you know, it's my responsibility to get results. And you know, I thought, like I said before, the team give a complete performance on Sunday. So yeah, we'll put another team out there on Saturday, and hopefully they can do the same again.
That's one for me. Probably know what's coming. Window shuts next Wednesday. Are you expecting anybody in? Is it looking unlikely? What do you think?
Probably more unlikely now. You know, we have had some conversations with certain players, but again, it's out of my. If I could, I would, but it's not. It's out of my hands.
Maybe found it a challenging window this one to try.
I think January is always tough. I think players are almost always under contract. You know, there is possible like loan options out there, but again, they've got to be the right people to come in and complement what we've already got.
Hi Mel.
Hi.
The ineligible player last night, when did you realise that had happened? Did you know during the game? Did you find out later? And have you experienced something like that before?
I didn't know during the game, to be honest. I just found out after the game. GM kind of told us afterwards, and a bit of a shock, but not really experienced it before, so I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm just kind of reading what all you guys are writing, and just sitting tight and seeing what happens, really.
And does coming up against a team like that, WSL level, and having that result, does that put you off getting promoted at all, or are you keen to be testing yourselves against the likes of Villa every week?
Yeah, I think that's what everyone aspires. You know, that's the level everyone aspires to be at, and probably goes to show that the current squad is probably not quite there yet. But you know, who's to say that they won't be ready in 6 months, 12 months time?